Picture this. You are sitting down to breakfast, staring at a plate of scrambled eggs cooked in butter, maybe a side of crispy bacon, and suddenly that old voice in your head pipes up. Wait, is this going to clog my arteries? Am I basically signing up for a heart attack with this meal? You push the plate away, feeling guilty, and reach for the plain oatmeal instead again. Meanwhile, somewhere else someone is happily enjoying their eggs and steak, blissfully unaware of the guilt you just felt. You start to wonder, have we all been fed the same scary story for decades? Have eggs, butter, and red meat really been the villains we were told they were? Or have we been pointing the finger at the wrong foods while the real troublemakers hide in plain sight on grocery store shelves? The truth is both surprising and freeing. For years we heard that cholesterol in food directly becomes cholesterol in your blood, that saturated fat is public enemy number one, and that anything tasty and traditional must be dangerous. But modern, large-scale research has turned much of that advice upside down. Your body actually needs cholesterol. It builds hormones, repairs cell walls, makes vitamin D, and keeps your brain working smoothly. The real question is not whether cholesterol exists in food, but which foods truly drive up the dangerous kind of cholesterol in your bloodstream while lowering the protective kind. Today we are going to cut through decades of confusion and look at the evidence with clear eyes. We will explain exactly what cholesterol is and why your body cannot live without it. We will walk through the foods that genuinely raise low-density lipoprotein cholesterol and increase heart disease risk. We will bust the myths around eggs, butter, red meat, and saturated fat with the latest studies. We will reveal the surprising everyday culprits that do far more damage than most people realize. And we will end with a positive, practical list of foods that actively improve your cholesterol numbers and protect your heart, so you can eat with confidence instead of fear. Let us start at the very beginning, so every piece makes perfect sense. What cholesterol really is, and why your body cannot survive without it. Cholesterol is a waxy, fat-like substance found in every cell of your body. Far from being a poison, it is an essential building block. Your liver produces about 80% of the cholesterol you need, and the remaining 20% comes from food. Here is what cholesterol actually does. It forms the outer membrane of every cell, giving structure and flexibility so cells can function properly. It is the raw material your body uses to make steroid hormones: cortisol for stress response, aldosterone for blood pressure balance, estrogen and progesterone for reproductive health, testosterone for muscle and bone strength. It helps produce vitamin D in your skin when exposed to sunlight. It is a major component of bile acids, which your liver makes to digest and absorb dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins. It plays a critical role in brain function. About 25% of the cholesterol in your body is found in your brain, where it supports nerve cell insulation, myelin, and synapse formation. Cholesterol travels through your bloodstream attached to proteins called lipoproteins. The two main types everyone talks about are low-density lipoprotein, often called bad cholesterol because when levels are too high, it can deposit cholesterol in artery walls, forming plaques that narrow vessels and raise risk of heart attack and stroke. High-density lipoprotein, often called good cholesterol because it acts like a cleanup crew, picking up excess cholesterol from tissues and arteries and carrying it back to the liver for removal. The goal is not to eliminate cholesterol from your diet or your blood. The goal is balance. Keep low-density lipoprotein from getting excessively high while maintaining or raising high-density lipoprotein. Triglycerides, another blood fat, also matter. High levels contribute to artery hardening and are strongly influenced by diet and lifestyle. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death worldwide, and abnormal cholesterol patterns are one of the major modifiable risk factors. But the foods responsible are not always the ones we were warned about. The foods that truly raise harmful cholesterol levels. Let us look at the evidence-based culprits, starting with the worst offenders. First and foremost, trans fats. These artificial fats, created by adding hydrogen to vegetable oils to make them solid at room temperature, are among the most dangerous substances you can eat. Trans fats dramatically raise low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, simultaneously lower high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, promote inflammation throughout the body, increase risk of heart disease more than almost any other dietary factor. Even small amounts matter. Studies show that just 2% of daily calories from trans fats raises heart disease risk by 23%. They were once everywhere, in margarine, shortening, packaged baked goods, microwave popcorn, frozen pizza, fast food French fries, and countless processed snacks. Although many countries banned or severely restricted artificial trans fats, products can still contain small amounts if labeled 0 grams trans fat, allowed if less than half a gram per serving. Always check ingredient lists for partially hydrogenated oils, that is code for trans fats. Next, ultra-processed foods. This broad category includes most fast food, packaged snacks, sugary cereals, frozen meals, deli meats, instant noodles, and soft drinks. These foods raise harmful cholesterol through multiple pathways. Many still contain hidden trans fats or high levels of saturated fat. They are loaded with refined carbohydrates and added sugars that spike triglycerides and promote small, dense low-density lipoprotein particles, the most artery-damaging kind. They often displace nutrient-dense whole foods that would naturally help balance cholesterol. They contribute to insulin resistance, belly fat gain, and metabolic syndrome, all major drivers of poor cholesterol profiles. Large population studies consistently link higher ultra-processed food intake to worse lipid profiles, higher inflammation, and increased cardiovascular events. Processed meats, bacon, sausages, hot dogs, salami, pepperoni, deli slices, are another clear offender. Regular consumption is associated with higher low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, higher triglycerides, increased inflammation, higher sodium intake, which raises blood pressure, and greater overall heart disease risk. The preservatives, high salt, and heme iron in processed meats contribute to oxidative stress and endothelial dysfunction. Deep-fried foods, French fries, fried chicken, donuts, onion rings, tempura, raise cholesterol through several mechanisms. Repeated high-heat frying creates oxidized fats and trans fats. Fried foods are calorie-dense and promote weight gain. They often replace healthier cooking methods that preserve nutrients. Excess sugar and refined carbohydrates deserve special mention because many people still believe cholesterol comes only from cholesterol-containing foods. Sugar does not contain cholesterol, but it wreaks havoc on your lipid profile. High sugar intake drives up triglycerides dramatically. It increases production of small, dense low-density lipoprotein particles. It promotes fatty liver disease, which worsens cholesterol metabolism. It causes insulin resistance, which impairs the liver's ability to clear low-density lipoprotein. Sweetened beverages, candy, pastries, white bread, white rice, sugary cereals, and desserts are among the biggest contributors to metabolic chaos that shows up as bad cholesterol numbers. The truth about saturated fats, eggs, butter, and red meat. This is where decades of fear-based messaging meet modern evidence, and the picture is far more nuanced. Saturated fats, found in butter, cheese, full-fat dairy, coconut oil, palm oil, fatty cuts of meat, and dark chocolate, do raise low-density lipoprotein cholesterol in many people. But the effect varies widely based on genetics, overall diet, and what replaces the saturated fat when you cut it. Replacing saturated fat with refined carbohydrates often worsens heart risk, while replacing it with unsaturated fats, olive oil, nuts, avocados, fatty fish, improves risk. Large reviews, including those from the Cochrane Collaboration and the American Heart Association, now conclude that reducing saturated fat lowers cardiovascular events only when replaced with polyunsaturated or monounsaturated fats, not when replaced with sugar or refined starch. Eggs contain about 186 milligrams of cholesterol per large egg, once thought to be a hard limit. Yet numerous studies, including randomized controlled trials and large prospective cohorts, show that for most healthy people, eating 1 egg per day, or even more, does not significantly raise low-density lipoprotein cholesterol or increase heart disease risk. Eggs often raise high-density lipoprotein cholesterol slightly and improve the low-density lipoprotein particle size, making it less harmful. The American Heart Association now states that up to 1 egg daily is generally safe for healthy individuals. The danger usually comes from what accompanies the egg: bacon, buttery toast, fried potatoes, not the egg itself. Butter versus margarine. Old-school margarine loaded with trans fats was far worse than butter. Modern soft margarines without hydrogenated oils can be neutral or slightly better, but extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and nut butters remain healthier choices for cooking and spreading. Red meat, especially lean cuts, does not deserve its villain status when eaten in moderation as part of a whole foods diet. Unprocessed red meat shows weak or no consistent link to heart disease in most high-quality analyses when adjusted for confounders. Processed red meat, however, remains strongly linked to worse outcomes. Some people are genetically more sensitive. Those with familial hypercholesterolemia or certain apolipoprotein E variants see bigger low-density lipoprotein spikes from saturated fat and dietary cholesterol. For the majority, though, context matters far more than single foods. Foods that actively improve your cholesterol profile. Focus here, and you can often see real improvements in blood tests within weeks to months. Soluble fiber powerhouses: oats, barley, beans, lentils, apples, pears, Brussels sprouts, carrots. Bind cholesterol in the gut and remove it before absorption. Nuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios lower low-density lipoprotein and improve particle size. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel omega-3 fatty acids reduce triglycerides and inflammation. Extra virgin olive oil, monounsaturated fats raise high-density lipoprotein and lower oxidation of low-density lipoprotein. Avocados improve low-density lipoprotein quality and raise high-density lipoprotein. Plant sterols and stanols, found in fortified foods or supplements, block cholesterol absorption. Vegetables and fruits, high in antioxidants that protect arteries. A Mediterranean-style eating pattern, rich in these foods, moderate in natural dairy and lean meats, low in processed items, consistently produces the best long-term cholesterol and heart health outcomes. Putting it all together, the simple truth about cholesterol and food. It is not eggs. It is not a steak eaten once or twice a week. It is not butter used mindfully in a home-cooked meal. The real drivers of harmful cholesterol changes and heart disease risk are ultra-processed foods, trans fats, deep-fried items, excessive added sugar, refined carbohydrates, and processed meats. Whole, minimally processed foods, when part of a balanced pattern, rarely cause problems for most people. Focus less on fearing single ingredients and more on crowding out the junk. Read labels, cook more at home, choose quality over quantity, and pair smartly. Eggs with spinach and avocado, not pastries and soda. Get your lipid panel checked regularly. Know your numbers, and talk to your doctor about your personal risk factors. You do not have to live in fear of real food. The science has moved on, and so can you. Eat real, move your body, manage stress, sleep well, and let your heart thank you for years to come. You deserve to enjoy food without guilt, and to protect your health without confusion. Here is to meals that nourish instead of scare, starting with your very next bite.